The following podcast is scheduled for one fall. Ooh, yeah. It's time for Hogan Bloat.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the premiere of episode 1 of Hogan Bloat Uncensored. This is a brand new wrestling podcast because obviously there's not enough people talking about wrestling nowadays, and it will be with yours truly, Sam Stay, and my co-host today
is Lewis Chance. That's me.
We are big wrestling fans. We thought, what a good way to we talk about this stuff all the time.
All the time.
In general speech.
Yeah.
And if that is not a precedent to have a podcast in 2019, I don't know what is.
Exactly.
So we decided to go, why don't we make a podcast, pop it on the airwaves, and then people can hear our opinions for whatever it's worth.
Absolutely.
You're going to hear us talk about WWE. You're going to hear us talk about AEW, new AEW, All Elite Wrestling. You're going to hear us talking about the world of wrestling today, little bits that we found about backstage goings on the dirt sheets, Raw, Smackdown, maybe 205 Live, maybe NXT pay-per-views as well.
They'll be trying to drink their own sweat to survive, brother.
Lewis, how you doing?
I am pissed off.
Here we go.
I am pissed off. And I'll tell you why I'm pissed off. Because we're at Stomping Grounds this weekend. And the lead up to Stomping Ground I thought was very, very good. Raw and Smackdown was very good. We actually stayed up and watched it. Not together, but we were watching it. And we were glued to our screens pretty much the whole time, throughout the whole show.
Yeah.
I don't think many people were expecting that at all. I mean, I wasn't. Probably the best WWE pay-per-view we've had in recent times, I'd say, on match quality. Ricochet and Joe, Kevin Owens and Sammy versus the New Day, the Cruiserweight Championship. Not only that, we had a fantastic promo from Daniel Bryan and a fantastic promo from Samoa Joe, which is why I'm confused at why SmackDown and Raw was so bad, because I'm watching that promo from Daniel Bryan and I'm going, hang on a minute, have they taken them off script? Because it seemed to me that was an improvised promo. That was not, to me, it's not like your normal WWE scripted promo. So, and they put on a good show, and I was like, I'm excited for Raw and SmackDown, because that was really good. And what did we get, Sam Stay, on
the same old shit. The same old fucking shit that we've been shoveled down our throats for, mate, well past WrestleMania season.
Oh, mate, it's been
I get it. I get the lull after Mania, and it dips. But that's the time you start the cogs turning. That's the time you do it in.
Yeah, but you know where it went wrong with me? Is this wild card. This wild card. So while we're talking about this, let's talk about it at the moment. Because, don't get me wrong, I am ecstatic that Samoa Joe is going after one of the top titles in WWE. But I am confused as hell.
So why he's doing it?
He's just dropped the US title to Ricochet. So already...
Which is a Raw Championship.
Which is a Raw
title.
Championship.
Yep.
So he's just lost the title. So the last thing he should get is a bump up, right? Without any context.
Regardless,
At least have, number one contendership match on Raw. Samoa Joe versus Braun versus Lashley, the winner gets a title shot, whatever. But he's attacked Kofi Kingston, who is the SmackDown and I know it's not called the SmackDown W title, but that is the top title.
He's the world champion.
Yeah, on SmackDown.
He's the world champion of SmackDown.
So what is a Raw guy doing going after the SmackDown WWE champion? That to me, with no context, makes no sense. No.
And it was good for a pop. It was good for an exciting moment.
Don't get me wrong, I love Samoa Joe. He's been my since the days of TNA. Sam and I were massive TNA fans back in the day. Yeah. AJ Styles and Joe were massive fans of that era from TNA. Eric Young's obviously in there, not doing much at the moment, Bobby Roode, unfortunately. But what is a Raw superstar doing attacking the SmackDown WWE and getting confirmed, by the way, an Extreme Rules Championship match
I think that has been confirmed. Obviously, before these pay-per-view events happen, the arenas promote what's happening.
Yeah.
And they release promotional images. And I think that is... But I actually think it's been confirmed. I think it's been confirmed. Did he attack him on Raw? Did he attack him on SmackDown?
He attacked him on Raw and then was nowhere to be
that's
seen
the issue.
on SmackDown.
That's the issue. And what also bothers me, the whole feuds based around Kofi's post-WrestleMania, defenses, feuds...
Yeah.
have all been circled around the fact that Kevin Owens didn't want to go to Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
And so why did they draft Dolph in? Why didn't they pull the trigger on Joe earlier then?
I don't know.
Did they want to keep Joe looking strong? But it doesn't make sense because
a lot of the
wild card rule
doesn't make sense at the moment.
No. The wild card rule, when it initially is 5 superstars from one show are allowed to appear on the other. However,
it's messy. This
week, I think on SmackDown, maybe it's been SmackDown, might have been Raw, there were 8 wrestlers from the other show on the brand, which are all going to be top guys. They're going to be top guys.
But there's people from different shows challenging for different titles, and it doesn't make sense. Tell me this: why have Raw and SmackDown as 2 separate shows with your separate titles? Why spend 2 years building up the SmackDown tag titles, the Raw tag titles, the SmackDown's Women's Champion, the Raw Women's Champion, to then have everyone on every fucking show doing whatever the fuck they want?
Free for all. It's like there's no rule. It's
a free for all. So why do you have 13 championships right now? 13 championship titles.
There are 11 belts and 13 holders of that belts, including tag teams.
The tag teams, right?
Let me give you a rundown of those. You've got the Universal title,
right? Top title on Raw. WWE.
Top title on Raw.
Yeah.
So I'll give you the titles for Raw.
Yeah.
You've got the World Head. You've got the Universal Championship.
Yeah.
Universal Championship, United States Championship, the Raw Tag Team Championship, and the women's and the women's Raw Champion. I think they're both calling themselves the.
Yeah, and I think the tag titles for the women's are a 2-branded
they're
thing.
all across.
Right.
Yeah. So all right, we'll count that here on this list.
Yeah, for sure.
Universal, United States, men's Raw Tag Team Champions, women's champion, and the women's Tag Team Champion.
And the 24/7
SmackDown, World Heavyweight Champion,
Yep.
Intercontinental Championship, SmackDown Tag Team Championships, Women's Champion.
Yeah.
Then you've also got Cruiserweight, 24/7.
Yeah.
Which I believe takes it up to 11.
Right, 11 titles.
I believe it takes it up to 11.
But if everyone's flying around all over the place, then you don't need that many titles. You just have, like it was before the brand split, your one tag team, your US and your IC, and the one top title belt. Don't spend 2 years on the brand split and making it a thing. So then after WrestleMania, having this rule where it's a freaking free-for-all and everyone's flying all over the place. It doesn't make sense and it's unclear. And
it is.
It makes me... Of course I want Joe to win the WWE title, but I haven't got a storyline. Yes, the match is probably going to be fantastic because Samoa Joe is a great worker and Kofi Kingston is doing very well. And I don't have a problem with the matches that WWE is setting up. I have an issue with how they're getting there, and it's a story that I want.
Yeah, it is about the journey. I think they tried to do a lot of hard work at this pay-per-view.
Yeah.
From watching the pay-per-view, it looked to me like it was an apology, almost. It was like look, this is what we can do.
Yeah.
You know, we can put on a captivating show.
Yeah.
I don't giving tickets away, 2-for-1s, you're blocking out levels and from the seating area. Fine. But within that pay-per-view, you showcased what you can do with new matches we haven't seen before.
Yeah.
Heavy Machinery against Eric Rowan and Daniel Bryan. Ricochet against Samoa Joe.
It was exciting.
We haven't seen those, but encompassed around that, we get Kofi and Dolph, which we've had for the 27th time. Why is Baron Corbin getting another match when he's lost 3 times in a row?
Yeah,
and now he's getting another match.
Yeah.
I believe it was like a look at what we can do. And then on Raw and SmackDown, you undid that all.
Literally.
You undid it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I felt it was a shame because you had glimmers of hope.
Well, we both sat there and we were texting each other all night and we were so excited. I felt like I was a kid again watching wrestling, and I was like, there we go. And I was like, it is not that hard.
No.
You've got the talent there to go. You proved that on Stomping Ground. So why on Raw and SmackDown did that happen?
I have no idea.
It makes no sense. It's like, Sam, you always talk about, you have your shot, and then when you lose, you're back at the line.
Yeah, it's got to be, boom, go back to the bottom, work your way back up. You don't...
Unless it's a long feud. Now, I get that. Feuds are cool, great. You need some feuds sometimes. But, it's like, if you lose, Baron's lost 3 times? Dolph 2 or 3 times? We don't need to see it again. I'm sorry. Like you say, back to the back of the line, get someone else in there. That's exciting.
Yeah.
We want cool.
And it keeps the machine going.
It keeps the machine going. Dean Ambrose and AJ Styles had a very good storyline, and that went on for a long time.
Yeah.
But it made sense because there was a good story behind it. When there's not much going on, just keep giving the same person shot after shot after shot, it becomes dull and boring.
Yeah.
There's no need to keep that going.
I would rather see someone's rise to the top than, okay, fine, let's take... Oh, it's so difficult.
Yeah.
Okay, let's take... Right, Drew Gulak is the new Cruiserweight champion, which I'm a big Gulak
You
fan.
are indeed.
And they've finally pulled the trigger, which is 2 years too late, if I'm honest. Gulak is finally champion.
Yeah, I just want to say that match was fantastic at Stomping Ground.
I don't want to see Tozawa in the match ever again. In a tag... He's been champion, he's been at the top.
Yeah.
Tony Nese gets one more chance. If he loses that, back to the bottom of the pile. Now we have a new lot coming in.
Yeah.
So by the time Tony Nese comes back up to challenge for that title, you think, oh, great, Tony Nese is back again.
Yeah.
Not, why is Baron Corbin wrestling for the title again? Because he obviously isn't popular. Something I saw, as we do, I do believe social media is the death of wrestling.
Yes, it is.
But as we know,
I stay away from it. I stay away from it. But.
Well, I follow so much that it just pops up in my sort of when you press the little magnifying glass on Instagram,
and it comes. Yeah,
it just pops up.
Yep.
Apparently now I've heard that Vince is pushing Baron because he thinks that women swoon over Baron. They find him attractive.
Right.
They find that he's got good looks, so that's why he's pushing him.
And that's why he's still wearing a suit in the ring, which pisses me off. Wear your fucking ring attire.
As I said to you, it is impressive.
It's impressive. But you're not the general manager anymore. Corporate Kane was wearing a suit, and he wasn't even Corporate Kane anymore. It's like, take the suit off. Put Baron Corbin in ring gear, and
that guy retired Kurt Angle, and there we go.
Baron Corbin. Listen, I think he's very good in the ring. You can't take that away from him. I think he's very good in the ring, and he's the only heel that's not getting cheers. Every other heel gets a pop. Because people
it's true,
love
but
him.
Is that good heat or is that bad heat?
I don't know. But either way, it's good that he's getting booed because that's what he's meant to be doing. Whereas Kevin Owens is a heel and he gets cheered. Brock Lesnar is a heel, but he gets cheered.
I think it's because fans think they're smarter.
I mean,
that's exactly why we're doing a podcast.
Exactly. No, because like Bully Ray says, you've got your opinion, but you are wrong. But no, I think we've got...
Which I'm happy about.
They'll be trying to drink their own sweat to survive, brother.
I think combined, I've now got 16 years of wrestling experience. And you must have more. So combined, we must have over 35 years.
What was the first match you watched? Ever? What was the first thing you saw?
Well, I used to dip into WWF, but wasn't allowed to watch it, so it got turned off.
Right, yeah.
So I used to watch a bit of, the Attitude Era, but not like week to week.
Like the tail end.
Like the bits of it. But when I started watching it again, I must have been like 10. I think it was like Brock Lesnar versus Big Show on SmackDown, leading up to Survivor Series around that time. Just after...
What, like 2003? No, 2000...
Like towards the end of 2002. I think it was.
Oh, okay.
Because I saw the whole thing with Undertaker and Kane and the rise of John Cena, the Brock Lesnar Big Show.
Tail end of 2002.
The Undertaker, Brock Lesnar chain on a pole match, all that stuff. So it was kind of around then that I was allowed to watch it and get back into it.
That's early.
But I saw lots of stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, well, speaking of, I just mentioned the Undertaker. So the Undertaker is back on Raw this week.
Is back and not
for a little gimmick.
Not in 150-degree heat.
No, like, again, obviously, we grew up on Undertaker. We love The Undertaker.
How about it? Best work? One of the best workers I've seen. Smooth,
But,
safe.
but, okay, so Mark Henry mentioned on Busted Open that no one in the WWE is getting a pop like The Undertaker. Doesn't that mean that the WWE have done fucked up? If you're relying on someone from over 5 years ago to come in and save the day and sell tickets, isn't that scary?
Well, you only have to look at the Saudi Arabia shows.
Yeah.
They want.
Yeah.
They want to see Goldberg and
Undertaker.
The Undertaker.
Randy
but they
Orton,
want to see
Triple H.
1998 Goldberg against 1998 Undertaker.
They want to see WWE 2K19 SmackDown Goldberg and Undertaker wrestle.
In 150-degree heat,
Yeah.
with two guys that you can't. It's a bit like, look, we watch a lot of football as well. You only have to look at when England go and play in hot countries.
Yeah.
We can't take the heat like that.
Yeah.
We're not used to it.
No.
When you're wrestling out in Saudi Arabia, calling a match, because don't forget, you've got to be able to speak, get something over clearly, be safe, look after your opponent, look after yourself. And when you're in your 50s,
Yeah, whatever it is.
if Undertaker's 54, I would struggle in that heat.
Mate, listen, them two, I think, Goldberg, a lot was hate was going at them two. They did a great job. Goldberg took himself out.
Mate,
it was dangerous.
He concussed himself on a ring post.
Yeah.
Give the guy credit.
Of
He could
course.
have gone, let's go for a finish. Let's go.
No,
I
he
need to get
carried
out.
on, fair enough. But, so this is why I don't have a problem with The Undertaker being back. The problem I have is that, okay, why was he there? That's fine that they've not told us why he's there, because that could be a part of the storyline. Undertaker, why are you back? I'm sure on Monday he'll come out and say why he's going to get involved in the match.
Yeah.
Good. But they've already announced the match before they've had a chance to explain why he's there.
Yeah.
So again, the story, they've done it because they need to sell tickets, because they fucked up.
I think so. I think so.
Oh, quickly, we need to get the matches out there so people buy tickets for Extreme Rules. The Undertaker's going to be there. Cool.
Yeah, we don't want to leave it to the last minute,
No.
because if we do, we'll
one's
be
gonna buy
doing what we
tickets
did
again.
2-for-1s again. Yeah.
But you've already announced the match, so you've not built up the story and given us a reason for making the match. And also, who is making the matches, we don't know. But that's my issue with it. I don't have an issue with him being back. I have an issue that they've not... and again, they don't have to explain it to me, but don't make the match until the story has been, I don't know, been told, if that makes sense. They could have had Shane McMahon being like, no, you're not in the match because I'm the boss. And then had it like, oh my God, he's going to be in the match. Is he not? Will he be in the match? And then it's like, last minute, he has to win a match against Drew at Raw. I don't know anything.
Yeah,
Don't just make the match for the sake of it.
It's like building a building
Yeah.
without knowing what you're going to put in there. Because now I've got a building sat there with nothing in it.
You've got the roof.
That people can go, oh, look at this building. What? Can we go in? Can we have a look? What's in it? Oh, nothing yet. Just a building. Is it? I get Undertaker's got history with Shane.
Yeah.
Undertaker's got history with Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
I would have loved for this to happen on Raw.
Yeah.
No match to be announced.
Yeah.
And then the next Monday, Roman's like, Undertaker, get out here. We need to speak because the last time, last time me and you were in a ring together, I retired you, and I need to know that,
what's going
have I
on?
really got your back? Gong hits, comes out, lights off, lights appear. He's there. We've got some unfinished business.
Boom.
I scratch your back. You scratch mine. Doesn't say what it's for. I think Mark Henry spoke about it.
Yeah.
I think Mark Henry actually booked it properly, and I think that is exactly the way they're going to go. And of course, Mark Henry's going to know that. I kind of think he's still got fingers in. Of course, he's going to say that about booking.
Of course.
Which makes me think, well, that's too obvious.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Is it unexpected? But now the match has happened. It's great because Roman Reigns is going to do all the hard work. Undertaker gets a hot tag. Undertaker does all his moves.
And that's all it needs to be.
I did see that on the dirt sheets that the Undertaker had handpicked Drew McIntyre as his next WrestleMania opponent.
So he's actually.
I saw that float. That is floating around for 36. 36. Crikey! Is it WrestleMania 36 already?
I have issues with that, but we can talk about that another day.
Fine. Fine.
You know how I felt about for me personally, I mean, we hear this another time, but when Taker lost the streak, that was when you retire. Because then he comes back next year and beats Bray Wyatt. What is that about? Burying Bray. Let's not go into there right now. But there's a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
There's a lot to talk about.
Let's not see how many people we can bury.
Yeah.
Let's not see how many people we can not serve.
Yeah. Let's let Bray Wyatt win 0 main events in his whole career, then give him the title. Yeah,
Bray Wyatt has lost 3 WrestleMania matches in a row.
Well, hopefully
not in a row,
change.
but on the bounce.
Yeah, well,
hopefully that'll change.
Hopefully that will change with this incredible new character.
They'll be trying to drink their own sweat to survive, brother.
Biggest issues with Raw and SmackDown
Yeah.
were overall the product. I don't like my champions being pinned.
Yes, so this is something you're really hot on.
I don't remember seeing a lot of it growing up in the Attitude Era, Ruthless Aggression Era, PG Era, Reality Era, whatever you want to call them. I think the only sport you could get away with that is like football, NFL, where the holders of a cup can lose because things change.
Yeah.
However, if you are a current holder of the belt, of the championship,
Yeah.
it means you've beat everyone in your way so far to win
You are the
this.
best in your
If
division.
you get beaten clean while you're holding the belt, you're done.
That's it. You look weak.
This guy is better than you.
So they should be champion.
Yeah, I agree. Everyone's raving about AJ versus Ricochet. He's coming off of beating Samoa Joe.
You just beat Joe for the US Championship, then you have AJ Styles beat him clean on Raw when you've just had the club come out to distract him. What an easy way to...
Do you think it's setting up for Ricochet to beat AJ then?
I don't know, but all I know is Ricochet got, I think, the biggest pop of the night winning that US title off Joe.
I think so, yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I love Joe, but I was happy to see him lose it to Ricochet because I think Ricochet needs it and deserves it, and I want Joe to be up the card.
Yeah.
But you've just had your US champion been beaten clean, and I know it's AJ Styles, but you're belittling the US Championship by having AJ Styles beat him clean. You know what I mean?
And if it's to service the like, if it's to give a win, fine. But I would then rather you had a dirty finish.
Yeah.
I know it's the main event, but I would rather you then include the club again to keep that storyline going.
You've already shown...
Rather than just have him...
So earlier in the night, you've had the club lose in a tag team match. And you see AJ telling them off for partying with Nowhere Jose, I think.
He's still there.
He's still there.
Mate, he will be there forever dancing in that
he's getting paid to party. So.
Why not? Why not? I would.
He's still there. I mean, Epico and Primo are still technically on the Smackdown roster, so...
Well, I've also seen that people are signing 5-year contracts now.
Yes, they are.
Mike Bennett has signed a new 5-year contract. Jinder Mahal has signed a new 5-year contract. Mojo Rawley has signed a new 5-year contract.
They should never split up Mojo and Zach, man. They're my guys.
It's dosh. If you can have job... Isn't that what everyone wants, though? Is job security and getting paid?
And that's not...
You can send money home to your family.
Yeah.
You can still work out, still keep fit, still keep healthy. Maybe you get on TV.
Yeah. Well, WWE are the richest and the biggest wrestling company in the world. You can't deny that. And
but going back to what you were saying, they had that bit after the match where AJ sort of shook Ricochet's hand and stuff. I would much rather you built another feud out of it by having AJ, the club distract AJ.
Yeah.
Ricochet gets the roll up pin. I know he had a roll up pin earlier in the night on Raw with that weird 8-man tag match where both tag team champions got pinned in one match,
which pissed us off.
Oh my god, I don't understand. The Revival are insane workers. Daniel Bryan is still one of the hottest wrestlers right now, and Eric Rowan has just raised his stock.
He's raised his game
where he is.
But the New Day and Usos are bloody awesome. But your tag team champions have been pinned.
Do you really want to see them? I don't want to see the Usos or the New Day be champions at the moment. It's not what I need to see.
Yeah,
I don't need to see that. I want to see my champions winning,
looking strong. Because then at the pay-per-view, you want to go in thinking the underdog's got no chance because the Revival have beaten everybody.
Yeah,
you want exactly. Because then if the title changed hands, you're like, oh well, the Usos beat them on Raw like twice anyway, so it's not really a big deal.
So it kind of makes
Where if you
exactly,
have,
that's exactly it.
if you have the Revival beat through everyone, AOP, the Usos,
Yeah.
I don't know where all these the Viking Raiders they're called now. The Viking Raiders, not the
I
War
think
Raiders.
that's their name now. Yes.
Right. You have them, and who
They're
else
not allowed
is
to
there?
use war. They're not allowed to say war.
No,
Apparently.
fair enough. I think the AEW will probably drop that in on the next pay per view. But like, so you have them beat everyone. You have them winning and winning and winning. So when it comes to the big pay per view match, everyone's going, man, the Usos don't stand a chance because the Revival are beating everyone. And then if there is a title changeover, you're like, whoa, fuck, they did it. Oh my god.
Yeah, or
awesome.
Or AJ, loses clean.
Yeah.
It's like, oh well, the club have been banned from ringside. This.
Whatever. There's
Ricochet's
so
got
much
it all.
to do.
Yeah. It's story. It's all story, and I think they are clutching at straws, and that was my issue with Raw and SmackDown, was that it was almost like they had a couple of deflated balloons, but they still had a couple that were floating, and all of a sudden they've just gone, and they've let them go.
Yeah.
And now they've got to blow up new balloons out of nowhere. Because they've made the matches and now they have to build the feuds. Why don't you build the feuds for the matches?
Well, normal practice is you build a feud, you do the storyline, and then you announce the match. I mean, it's not hard to go.
Bischoff said book backwards, he says. That's what Eric Bischoff says.
Yeah.
You have an end goal and you book backwards.
Well, that's not
so if your
happening
end
right now,
goal
is
is in 4 weeks to have Undertaker, Roman Reigns, Drew McIntyre and Shane, have it, and now let's book backwards. Oh, the Undertaker appeared. Boom, boom, boom. Haha, here's your tag match.
Yeah.
And everyone's like,
oh my god, we've got a tag match. Not.
Does Undertaker want to wrestle again? Did he just turn up for one? Does he want to redeem himself for that? It's just simple.
You've got to keep, like the special guest referee.
Stories.
They kept the fan guessing with a special guest referee, so it was interesting. Because they're giving us the matches straight away with no storyline or build. It's not interesting because we know we're having a match now, and now they've got to build for it.
And this whole highlighting, like, just to cap that off, I don't ever remember champions being pinned before.
Do you think John Cena would lose on SmackDown if he was US champion?
Well, apparently it was called burying, isn't it?
Yeah.
But isn't that what a champion's meant to do? I don't know. I just don't remember it happening that much.
When AJ Styles was your WWE champion back in the day, when The Undertaker was the undisputed champion, did he lose a singles match to whoever?
On Raw.
Of course
Raw.
Fucking didn't. He's the
Wasn't
fucking
even a main
Undertaker.
event.
We should be sitting there going, that is the Revival. They are the best tag team right now because they are the tag team champions.
And they're heels,
losing
so I want them to be unbeaten.
At least for a few weeks towards the pay-per-view, so when you get there, there's a payoff. Fuck, they defended the titles again. They ain't lost. They are hardcore. If they do lose and it's a part of the storyline and it's a shock, that's fine because it's a part of the story. But when they're just getting pinned clean for no reason, you're making the titles mean nothing. And
the
pisses me
mid-card
off.
titles as well. The mid-card titles need that more than ever.
Have we just seen Finn Balor for
SmackDown?
Let's talk about Finn Balor. We said on Sunday, I want to see my Intercontinental Champion on SmackDown. I don't know where he's been.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's been injured. I don't know what's going on. But
I know. I think
he's not been there.
All credit to Andrade. He lost his mum and his aunt within the same week.
I love
feud
Andrade.
is now.
And
he's obviously with Charlotte. Him and Charlotte are in a relationship.
Charlotte Flair.
So obviously they've got a lot of swing, so he can now get a lot of time off. I think, personally, in my opinion, is that it gives him the ability to be like, you know what, I'm just going to take some time off, which is what wrestlers need. They're humans as well.
But
however, you need to keep Finn on a roll, otherwise people don't. And Nakamura.
Care.
Oh my god.
Okay, let's really talk about this because yes, the whole world of wrestling knows that Finn and Nakamura is exciting.
Yeah,
we know.
It is.
I know it's going to be a good match. Where's Nakamura been for the last 3 months? Where is he
surfing?
Been? Right,
getting his paycheck.
So we've not seen him on telly, right? We've barely seen Finn Balor on telly.
No.
You were saying this to me. You were saying instead of just having hi Finn Balor, who's your next opponent, and having Nakamura just appear, they go, oh, that's your answer. Match made. Straight away, you're like, oh, Oh, okay. There's a match happening.
Makes no sense.
You were saying have Finn Balor walk through the locker room and have people iron up his championship, or have him come out to the ring and be like, I want to make this title mean something or something. I want to fight someone. Have a few people come out, and then who comes out at the end? Someone we've not seen for 3 months. Shinsuke Nakamura. The fans go crazy, and he's like, Finn,
and then
I want you
leave it.
And then you leave it.
And then you leave it.
Not just have him walk in and go, ooh.
We haven't, I get it, but why are you now trying to build someone you haven't had time to put on TV for weeks?
Yeah. Why now? Why are you choosing to make the IC title
why does
now
he
relevant?
need? Why can he get a shot?
Yeah. Why?
I would rather people eye up that championship going, I think I could take that. I'll be in there. I would rather have Finn go, people, they say, Finn, where have you been? He's like, well, I took a bit of time off myself, I haven't got a challenger at the moment.
Yeah.
I thought I'd use this time to just work on my fitness.
Use it against them.
Myself
Be
back
like,
to
well,
fighting fit.
no one's good enough to challenge me yet. And then you've got 4 guys come out. Oh, I'm good enough. What are you talking about? I'm ready. Give me a shot. And you build it, and everyone's like, you've got...
Make people want the belt, otherwise there's no point.
Yeah, if you just award Nakamura a match out of nowhere, then people aren't going to...
He hasn't earned it.
What's he done? What's he done to earn that in the last 3 months? Nakamura...
Well, you'll never guess what I've seen.
What are you seeing?
On Instagram.
What are you
I
seeing?
know we see a lot of it, and all these dirt sheets just report a load of cack, don't they? I've seen that it could be a triple threat at Extreme Rules for the Intercontinental title. And guess who's the other opponent?
Aleister Black.
No.
Andrade.
No.
Bobby fucking Roode, for all we know.
Who's someone who we haven't seen on TV for a while?
Rusev.
Shinsuke Nakamura's tag team partner.
Who have not been together for 3 months.
Which was dropped completely.
Right.
You know who I feel sorry for? Mojo Rawley. The guy was getting vignettes every week. Is that what they call him? Vignettes? Video packages.
Things change
week.
every fucking day at the WWE right now, mate. So I couldn't fucking
And then
tell
all
you.
of a sudden, he's gone. Dropped. Relegated.
Bobby Roode gets a moustache, changed his character, give him a win against Ricochet, by the way. Ricochet lost a few times on his way.
Yeah. You know what?
Don't talk to me about this. Just so you know, ladies and gentlemen, Ricochet, your new US champion, beat Bobby Roode, then lost to Bobby Roode, and then won another match, and then won the Fatal 4-Way. But on his way...
And now he's US champion.
Now US champion, out of nowhere. So
Bobby Roode won the 24/7 championship, lost the 24/7 championship, and is only seen running through the backstages of Raw.
They'll be trying to drink their own sweat to survive, brother.
I do want to cover the 24/7 championship.
yeah.
I'm so upset with the way they handled that end for Drake Maverick. And as we were spoken about it,
it was good. You booked it better, trust me.
I just think you wasted the payoff.
Yeah.
The wedding bit was funny. I get that. But
It's funny, I like it. It's funny.
As I said to you, Lou, I would rather watch R-Truth as Roadrunner and Drake Maverick as Wile E. Coyote.
That's it.
Every week, Drake tries to pull down a big old scaffolding on Truth to and all of a sudden it falls and Truth's standing in the middle and it hasn't touched him at all.
Yeah.
I want to see Drake try and trip him up with banana skins or
Anything.
do something and trying to explode him, and then he turns around and Truth's just standing there like, what are you doing? I want to see that. And then at SummerSlam, you have Drake Maverick get the better of R-Truth, and the payoff is so much better.
Yeah.
Because Drake Maverick can really work.
Yeah.
He's a good wrestler.
Yeah.
And I was so upset on Raw when they had that match and Truth beat him in 2 seconds.
Yeah.
I was like, come on, man. Let people think that Drake Maverick could win this back.
Yeah.
They didn't, and they lost it. And people say that it's the most entertaining thing on Raw at the moment. And what does that tell you? A title that they booed. They booed Mick Foley. And now it's become the most entertaining thing because the other product around it, it should be a supporting role.
Yeah.
Not the thing that people are like, oh, I only tune in for this.
You should people only tune in for Firefly and a 24/7.
Every minute.
We should be tuning in. I want to be watching. I would love to see Braun Strowman versus Lashley, in a match. They've been working well together. Put a stipulation.
People can't see it, but I'm turning my nose up at you at the moment.
You're turning my nose up at you, but you can't deny that they had a very good match a few weeks ago. It's not their fault they're putting in fucking arm wrestling contests and tug of wars.
But you can't just pick and choose when to start the feud and when to drop it.
But that's what they've been doing. That's why it's not fair. Listen, we are not having a go at the wrestlers here. The wrestlers are very talented. It is not their
It's not them,
fault.
it's the booking.
It is
it's
the booking
story.
that we are ripping apart here, because Braun Strowman, I mean, hopefully eventually will get back up to that main event place where he should be, because the fact they didn't pull the trigger on him against Brock Lesnar last year is
travesty,
disgusting.
Mate. Travesty.
But he's coming back. Him and Lashley actually had a very good match, and also Buddy Ray spoke about this on Busted Open as well. He said they worked together very well, and it was a good match.
They do. It's not often you see two big guys work
Do
well
what they
together.
did. So what we're saying is that Braun and Lashley can work well together, but because one week they're feuding and the next week they're not seen, and then the next week they are, people... It's like in a sitcom, if you have a storyline that you drop for 3 episodes and you pick up again, people go, oh, hang on, wait a minute, what's going on here?
Are we back on that again?
Oh, they still hate each other. Oh, okay. And then they have to try and like reinvest themselves, and you're just breaking the flow. It needs to go bam, 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 payoff next.
Yeah, it's all about the payoff. I mean, coming from a thespian background, in acting, writing plays, being in plays, that's all it is about, isn't it?
That's what the WWE wrestling is. It's a story.
It's that thing, isn't it? If you confront someone on stage, there's either 2 ways you can go. You either kiss them or you hit them.
Yeah.
Otherwise, don't confront them. It's basic storytelling.
Babyface Hill.
Yeah. It has to be... You want to cheer the good guys, boo the bad guys, be excited when the good guys win, hate it when the bad guys win. But it's that. And I get... We were talking about this the other day. Is it the fact that the people... writing these stories, writing these promos, booking these matches aren't necessarily trained wrestling bookers, because wrestling booking is a completely different skill.
They'll be trying to drink their own sweat to survive, brother.
The Forgotten Moose Theatre Company, Hogan Bloat Podcast,
this
Uncensored, has personally received an email from Vincent Kennedy McMahon.
Paul Heyman and Eric Bischoff are now on 2 respective creative teams. Eric Bischoff is running Smackdown.
Yes.
And Paul Heyman is running Raw.
But not as a GM, as a producer, so behind the scenes.
They are creative. They're on the creative booking side.
Okay.
Heyman has taken over full... I believe they're just working under Vince. Mm-hmm. So things get passed through. Heyman and Bischoff work on their respective shows. They concoct something up. They pass it through Vince, and then it goes out to telly.
Okay, so... Obviously, I think the wrestling world is very excited with Heyman and Bischoff.
Well, look, Bischoff ran WCW during the Monday Night Wars, and Paul Heyman ran SmackDown when it was beating Raw in the ratings in the mid-2000s.
Which is great, but there's one thing you said a few times, and you said they're working just under Vince, which means it still needs to go through Vince McMahon.
Go through Vince, I know.
And here's the
do you
problem.
not think they would have a lot of...
Don't, trust me, if this works, it could change everything in AEW.
I think it could.
And AEW, we could have 2 amazing products in AEW and in WWE. And that's what we want. Listen, we don't want to be sitting here ripping apart Raw and SmackDown. We want to be sitting here going, that match was amazing. That story is fantastic.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, we're not. I could talk about Double or Nothing for 4 hours and why that was one of the best pay-per-views of all time. And I want to be doing that with WrestleManias and, but we can't because it's shit right now. So does Heyman and Bischoff change that? Does that change?
I don't want to watch a show where the middle hour I go, oh. I want to be hooked every minute. Now,
listen.
Do you think this is damage control? Do you think this is panic button? Oh my God, we need 2 guys that haven't booked our shows in years back again to book a show, because Vince would have had to hire them back.
Yeah.
So this is Vince going, I need you back.
Well, we know they're worried because AEW is doing. They've only had 2 shows and they're doing amazing stuff. And
so they had All In, which was not underneath the AEW banner.
No,
it was actually co-funded by Ring of Honor, I think.
Yeah.
Then they had Double or Nothing. Mm-hmm. Then they've got like mini ones like Fighter Fest
coming up. Yeah.
Now Fight for the Fallen.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of controversy around that at the moment.
Okay.
Because Triple H has just announced that they are, at the same time as Fight for the Fallen is on, Evolve, the promotion that WWE are in connection with, that they get some wrestlers back and forth, are going to host their own show streaming on the WWE network on the same day.
Ooh. Oh.
Head to head.
Oh.
Yeah. Which is ridiculous because Fight for the Fallen is a charity for...
Yeah, it's not even like a
So it's seen as like a screw you. We're going to air this at the same time and see who wins.
But what they need to do is go head to head with the pay per view in August, All Out.
All out.
All out. Please, CM Punk.
And that's the last pay per view before they go Wednesday night Dynamite.
Yeah.
No, not Tuesdays, Wednesdays.
Well, but can
in
you,
October.
Yeah. And obviously we'll talk about that soon. I mean, obviously we can't really know what's going to happen until they go live. But judging from their pay-per-views, what's happening,
it's difficult.
They are hitting the panic button because they just brought in Paul Heyman and Eric Bischoff because it's no secret that they know it's not right because there's been lots of complaints on social media.
100%.
We know this, and we're doing this now because it's got to the point where we can't just say it with each other anymore. We need to let everyone know what we're thinking.
Yeah, no, I agree.
It is frustrating. Yeah, so this is panic button. I think Vince is going, I don't know what to do.
They'll be trying to drink their own sweat to survive, brother.
Do you think there's too much talent? Do you think they're suffering with too much talent?
Well, this is something we also talk about a lot. There are too many people.
Yeah.
How can you try and control and write a story and think about... They need to, like you say, streamline it. They need to go, right, there's 30 superstars on Raw, there's 25, 20 on Smackdown, and we build from these wrestlers. How was it over 300 300 wrestlers signed or something? 200 wrestlers signed to NXT and WWE?
A ridiculous amount. But they're all main event caliber wrestlers in their own right. How can you put them on a show? How can you
sit there and tell Bobby Roode, you're going to open the show against this person? He's like, right, but why aren't I challenging for the top title? Because I was NXT champion and blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean?
There's got to be that. I know you have to do the work you're assigned to and keep your part.
No, of course. That is your job. When you've got people like Andrade, who in my mind is absolutely incredible. Aleister Black, who's not even being seen right now. Nakamura.
Oh, have you seen... I wanted to ask you, someone's knocked on the door.
What?
You know, he's been asking for someone to pick a fight with him on SmackDown.
Yeah.
Someone knocked on the door.
Oh, what,
he was like,
promo?
you know what, screw this. And someone knocked on the door.
Do you think it was Bray Wyatt?
No, I think it's Cesaro.
Okay.
See? Why?
Why?
Why is it Cesaro?
This is what we wanted to happen, didn't we? We wanted AJ and the club to be beaten up on... Like, we want Ricochet to get the pin on AJ. AJ turns heel with the club, beat up Ricochet. Each week, beat him up to Extreme Rules.
Ricochet needs to find a partner.
Ricochet needs help. Oh my God, look who it is. Aleister Black, I need you. No one, blah, 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 blah.
Boom, boom, boom. Aleister Black, I need you. I'm not going to fight you. We're friends. No, I need you to fight with me.
And it's like...
He gets there. 3-on-3.
Pop.
Extreme Rules.
Boom.
You built a feud now for AJ.
Fucking booked your fucking show. How easy was that? We've got the talent and we just fucking
But then is it
booked
too easy? Because if something's too good to be true, it normally is. Is that too easy?
Does it?
Because we're sitting on the outside point of view. Does it work? Does it match up with everything else? You know what? Why don't you try it?
It doesn't fucking matter right now because all we're getting...
You're not doing anything worse.
Is getting Dolph Ziggler versus Kofi times 50, Baron and Seth.
Do you think we'll get the same problems with AEW when they start live TV shows? Because obviously it's fine booking a one-off show.
Oh, of course.
Obviously they've got feuds now. They built feuds from the end of Double or Nothing. Well, Moxley Omega, Moxley Jericho.
You know what? We could do a whole separate episode just on AEW.
I think so. Yeah.
But what I will say is this: they are at the moment are not following the same mistakes that WWE are. They're very smart. They've got more money, so they could get a big roster. But as they keep saying, we want to keep it controlled. We want wins and losses to actually matter. Something we've talked about the champions being. Do you think Jericho Hangman Page is going to win that title on the first night and AEW going to lose a match? No. Do you think that Young Bucks, if they win the tag team titles, are going to then lose a random house? Of course they're not.
Random house show?
No, of course they're not.
No, wins and losses matter.
Right. So they're already one up on WWE in that sense because. Like we've been speaking about, we don't want our champions being pinned. We don't want people just winning. No. Like Ricochet losing to Bobby Roode and then beating Bobby Roode and then not even wrestling him again, and he's
losing to AJ, but then getting one up on AJ, and then what does that do for AJ? You're not serving anybody.
Also, as we know, the schedule's going to be less frantic. Yes, he said Khan said there will be house shows, but it's only going to be the live taping, and then a few houses here and there, which give the wrestlers more time to relax, enjoy, be creative.
It's all about freedom.
And they're giving the wrestlers creative freedom, which I thought was happening when I saw Daniel Bryan's promo. I thought they were going to release that and let them do it, but they've not. But it's all these things that, because Cody, it's not like guys have just made AEW with money. They know what the fans want, as they don't want nothing to show us.
And they know what they want to see.
Exactly.
No different to me and you writing a show.
Yeah.
It's one thing we were always taught
Yeah.
is in acting, in like auditions or like monologues or as an acting. If I'm directing, I'm going to say, bring me a bush so I can trim it, but I can't do anything if you bring me twigs.
Right.
I will tell you when to stop. I will tell you when enough's enough. I will tell you if it's wrong. But you need to. If we don't let these people bring what they've got, how are we going to know if they can do it?
And well, that's the WWE at the moment. It's like me coming in to the first day of rehearsals, and you as a director have planned out my whole journey for me, and
whole thing.
And you've gone, Lewis, this is your line. I want you to say it like this. But I've gone, oh well, I had this idea. No. The top guy wants you to say it. The guy who's paying for everything, i.e. Vince, wants you to say it like this. And you're like, oh okay, but I don't want to do it that way. So then I'm going to be shit because I ain't doing what I want. What we've not worked together and made something good. I'm just being told what to do, and that is what's happening in WWE right now. Is everyone's being told what to do, and it's not good.
No, you're micromanaged, aren't you? And I think that goes back to
AEW,
them realising.
I watched some of the AEW promos they're releasing on their Instagrams and on YouTube.
Yes.
That's not scripted. That is all them, and you can tell because
it's nice. It's
raw.
nice to see because they're enjoying it.
Yeah.
And if they're enjoying it...
Listen, we've been in shows that we've not enjoyed, but we've still gone out there and given our best shot. And we've been in shows that we have enjoyed. And you can really see...
You can tell.
You can tell when
see
an actor is enjoying it and when an actor is not enjoying it. And it's the same with wrestlers.
Let's put their performers and they're humans.
Yeah, acting and wrestling. Obviously, wrestling is, a very step up as in physicality and all. And the actual sport itself, because it is a sport. Thank you, AEW.
Yeah.
It is a sport. We're having locker rooms, not changing rooms, and we're having press conferences. Wins and losses matter. So thank you, AEW.
Well,
for reminding us.
That brings us. That's a nice thing onto this whole. Vince saying, well, real sports don't have the sport going on during commercial breaks. Well, you always said that you were entertainment and that you weren't sport.
Yeah.
But now you are sport.
Oh, don't get me started on these 2 out of 3 falls matches.
Fox called everyone in, apparently. Another rumour I've read, take it with a grain of salt, that Fox has called them in and they are very unhappy with the way that ratings have dropped, with the way that that they're not selling tickets anymore. The attendance is the lowest it's ever been.
Yeah, but and this is why
viewership is the lowest it's ever been.
Yeah,
ever been.
Yeah,
get that, ever been. This company has been going for decades.
Yeah, I mean they're still multi-billionaire company. Cool, but everyone goes, oh yeah, but they're still the best company because they have the most money. And I was like, I don't give
that means nothing.
I don't give a shit if you've got the most money because. Fans, and we are loyal fans and we're passionate wrestling fans. Our heads are being turned because AEW is giving us what I think the real wrestling fans want and need. And this is why I think, like you say, have they hit the panic button? Yes. Fox have gone, what the fuck are you doing? Oh, okay, we'll bring in Paul Heyman and Eric Bischoff. That's probably a Fox move, maybe not a Vince move, I don't know. We're not selling tickets, so announce the Undertaker tomorrow night. We have to announce Samoa Joe, and we have to get Nakamura in quickly, otherwise, oh my god, no one's going to buy a ticket. And they're going, fuck. And Triple H is going, just let me do it, and I'll fucking turn this around. And he's like, no, god damn it.
I think so. You only have to look at the NXT product right now.
Yeah.
The only thing that NXT suffers with is not being live.
Yeah.
Because people are spoiling that thing left, right, and centre.
Well, it's like Dave LaGreca was saying.
I watch 3 hours of Raw, 2 hours of SmackDown. I watch 205 Live, and I watch NXT as well. So I watch it all.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of wrestling to consume.
That's a lot.
I love 205 Live is really good at the moment, and I'm not sure if that's because Triple H is producing that.
Well,
I'm not sure who's producing that.
But which show is the least viewed show right now? It's 205, isn't it? I think it is. But their match at Stomping Ground was amazing.
Mate, it is so. They're putting on hardcore matches.
Yeah.
You know, they're putting on like submission matches.
Yeah.
It is end to end stuff. You're like, who's going to win?
Yeah.
And these are people that have no build. There's not much story.
Yeah.
They're just wrestling.
We enjoy Stomping Ground because the wrestling was good.
And you can tell a story in the ring.
You can tell a story in the ring. You don't have to give us 45 minutes of monologues between Seth Rollins and Baron Corbin to tell us a story. Just get in there, fight, and just give them a bit of...
Do you think Baron Corbin's going to win at Extreme? Do you really think Baron Corbin and Lacey Evans are going to win the title? Of course they're not. Not now that Becky and Seth are in a relationship. Are they going to do that? Why would you do that? And why would you? Oh, well, maybe I don't know. Look,
listen,
I just think.
Yeah, we could go on all day.
Well, Eric Bischoff says that he doesn't see a brand split in 6 months. 6 months, he doesn't see there being a brand split anymore.
But they're separating the shows, so they have one on Monday, and Fox has got Smackdown
On Friday, yeah.
So
or Thursday. Is it Thursday or is it Friday?
It's Friday.
No, Fox has got it on Friday.
Okay, so this is my issue with this.
Well, I think this was before that they signed on to be creative.
Okay.
I think he said that.
Here's my big issue with that, and that is they've only just done the brand split literally 2 years ago. They've only just 2016.
3 years. So 2016, yeah.
Okay, they've spent all that time making the separate titles for the separate shows.
Yeah.
I remember just before the brand split, before the NXT guys were coming in, we were literally getting the same show on Raw and Smackdown.
Yeah,
and
it was a recap. It was a 2-hour recap.
Fucking tedious. It was Sheamus and Cesaro on Raw, and it was Sheamus and Cesaro against the same people on SmackDown, and it was awful. And if they do that, and it's just a free-for-all, then you're making it even harder because you've got even more people and less championships because you can't have a Raw and SmackDown tag title when it's unified because they'll have to unify them all again. They're going to have one top champion. They're going to have a US or an IC champion. They can't have both. Because remember when they had that before, it was 2 mid-card belts, but they're on both shows, and you had
and it didn't really matter because one was built up more than the other,
and it was just. So if they do that,
and that's what you're going to get. That is what you're going to get again, I think.
But in that case, they have to really work on storylines out of the championships.
Cut your wrestlers, let them go. Speculate to a
But they won't because they don't want AEW or New Japan or TNA.
No, they don't want anyone else to get in. That's why they're signing people like
and that's wrong.
Mojo Rawley to 5-year contracts. Because look at Ty Dillinger. He's now not being used in WWE, 10. But he jumps over to AEW and he gets a huge pop, and now he's going to be showcased.
Yeah.
And WWE are now like, shit, we lost Neville.
Yeah.
Neville's now longest reigning Dragon Gate champ, or he's held it for his unbeaten run now.
Mm-hmm.
He's really talented. He's built up a John Moxley. He's now the hottest thing in pro wrestling at the moment.
Yeah.
Kenny Omega turned down big money. Young Bucks turned down big money.
I know, but they're not. The problem is, if all these wrestlers go, AEW aren't going to sign them all because they're looking to full contract that TNA did.
No, I know, but then what happens to WWE's product?
Yeah.
They're already talking about keeping wrestlers in NXT.
Well, they have to because
they're frightened to put them up.
Well, because Aleister Black has gone up to the main roster and not had a fucking match yet.
And he did. Him and Ricochet fought for the tag team titles at Mania.
Well, Ricochet and Aleister Black were the best thing about the build up to WrestleMania, and they split them up.
Yeah, it was pretty good. But now look at Black. Now look at Aleister Black. He's doing the best he can with the scripts they're giving him.
Yeah.
And what they're going to put him in a feud with Cesaro because Cesaro's only doing this because Sheamus is injured. He's injured. Sheamus is out for, I heard, a long time.
They'll be trying to drink their own sweat to survive, brother.
But bearing in mind, putting a cap on Stomping Grounds, I enjoyed Kofi Dolph, but I've seen it. I've seen Kofi Dolph.
Yeah.
I know Dolph isn't going to win this belt.
Yeah.
If you had KO, we spoke about it. If you had KO in that match or Sammy,
yeah,
fine.
Or
I didn't.
one of the other
so that was the one thing I did. So I didn't like that on Stomping Grounds, and I was a bit bored with the main event.
Yeah.
Raw, I didn't like Joe beating down Kofi, but yet his brothers, the New Day, didn't show up to help him.
Mm-hmm.
That's nice, isn't it? They are there. They won earlier in the night.
We saw them. They were at Raw. The Smackdown.
We see them on Ride Along. They drive together.
So
ride along.
So why is your boy Kofi getting beat up by Joe and they ain't coming to help him? It doesn't make sense. It's so fucking
Smackdown,
annoying.
I just didn't like the ambiguity of the storylines. And that brings us to... I haven't watched 205 Live yet, and I haven't watched NXT yet. But before we do next week's Hogan Bloat, I'll have caught up on...
For sure.
Well, we shall see. Well, I honestly think... I know, a high tide raises all boats. On that note... We have surmised all of this week. We will be watching Fyter Fest. Well, I will endeavour to watch Fyter Fest, and we shall be definitely discussing it on next week's edition of Hogan Bloat, where we'll be talking about Raw, SmackDown. I'll be catching you up on 205 Live and NXT, and that is all from me and Lou. Anything can happen because it's pro wrestling, and that's the way things go. I've been Sam Stay. My co-host.
It's Lewis Chance.
And we've been Hogan Bloat. We've been the Forgotten Moose. We're uncensored every week. Every week without fail. Tune in for more of this. Thank you very much.
They'll be trying to drink their own sweat to survive, brother.